G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in the north of the map, playing as the French, we have got BeastyQT. He's going to be opening us up with what appears to be a double scout opening and looking to scout out his enemy who was spawned on the opposite side of the map with quite a very nice spawn, if I don't say so myself. Wow. Vortex, who is playing as the Mongols in the color red. Now, at the top of our screens, you will see that we've got our beautiful overlay done by Overlay Guy. Looks like only going to be a single scout opening here. Just the Khan going to be looking to run around the map and try and find out exactly what is going on. Now, that overlay is going to be switched shortly. I believe that we have now got the technology, and there you go. The switches happen in real time. So Vortex and BeastyQT, they've now been switched around. You've got Vortex is on the left side of the map and on the right side. Though very, very slight difference between the two. You can almost, see right down the middle there. But it does make it a little bit easier to have this as a coherent UI. Now, this, of course, is a Mongol versus French game. Now, Mongols versus French is a matchup as old as... Well, as old as Age of Empires for itself, I guess, is probably the best way to say it. But it is an interesting one. It has begun to evolve. So we used to see tower rushes being incredibly strong in this matchup, but not going to be the case today. It seems Vortex is going to be going for a bit more of an economic opening. You can see his sheep going to be running back to that town center, slowly but steadily. At the same time, the Khan going to be out here on the map, looking to collect those sheep. He's found 5 so far. Compare that over to BeastyQT, who we can see has so far found... Let's just have a quick count right now. We've got 2 plus 3 plus 6. So he's got 6 sheep so far. So you can see this one's being chased by quite a few. But what do we expect to happen today? So Beastie is going to be looking for what his enemy is up to. He spots the Uvu. Now, I don't think he spots the pasture. Actually, I do suspect he probably would see the pasture, but you guys know how terrible this overlay or this spectator UI is. In fact, not even just the spectator overlay or UI, it's just the spectator mode in general is absolutely terrible. We're how many months into this? 6 months into this, and still I can't see the resources that are on the map that are like... Oh man, I gotta stop talking about it or I just fucking get upset. School of Cavalry gonna be coming down now for BeastyQT. 3 villagers on that bad boy gonna be coming up relatively quickly. Gur gonna be going down. Do we have another early wheelbarrow build order coming out for Mr. Vortex? We've started to see this more and more from players going for an early wheelbarrow as the Mongols. So interesting opening here in that he's gone for the pasture to help out with the food economy on the back with the Uvu. And honestly, this is such a good opening for him. I think this is probably one of the best openings you could have with the Mongols, and BeastyQT is going to be definitely in a tough time going up against it. The reason why it's so good is because he's got his pasture at the back, or his Uvu at the back of his base. It means, you know, in this position, normally you would have your Uvu at the front of your base. It's very rare to get it behind your base and get this kind of thing as well. Well, not very rare, but it's uncommon. Let's just put it that way. And if the pasture's in front, even if the pasture's right here, then it does potentially open up a siege that could happen over on that position. But with it being behind the base, it's just going to help secure it so much more. And now we do indeed see that early wheelbarrow coming through. So big strategies coming out at this top level. Early wheelbarrow, early pasture. We are really seeing it develop quite a lot, this meta. It is definitely shifting. But now it seems like wheelbarrow going to be coming out of the other side as well. So BeastyQT going to be looking to research it for himself. He's got 4 villagers on gold, indicating to me that he's probably just going to be sticking with knights at the early stages of the game. Might not really be looking for economic upgrades, but you can see that multiple scouts are out, so he could always go into professional scouts here, knowing that his enemy is going to be looking at playing for pastures. Now, 3 villagers going to be tapping away at that deer stones. Deer stones coming up a little bit late, might be up about the 6-minute mark, but he's playing as the Mongols, so he's not going to be worrying, and not a single sign of aggression, with the exception of course, that pesky Khan. That pesky Khan. I feel like that meme, it's like, you know, I can't remember, but it's the girl and she's like, that smile, that damn smile. I feel like it's me, but it's like that Khan, that damn Khan. Always that damn Khan. But yeah, now we talk about the way that Vortex is being harassed by Beastie. So Beastie going to be sieging down this pasture on the back here. Interesting. I think that the pasture's obviously got the ability to move back, but we do see a barracks coming out in response from this, and it's going to be very easy for this pasture to come through. I'm not sure, in fact, why he's not unpacking it. He could actually just look to bring out 1 villager and heal it, but we'll see how he looks to play it. Town center still being harassed, or rather the mill being harassed, but now Knight going to be coming out. I'm curious where he looks to go from here, and not going to be adding in any secondary production facilities at this point. Could be going into professional scouts, and indeed is going into professional scouts. So it does make a lot of sense, and we did see that villager move out towards this position, heals up the pasture a little bit more, and now a spearman going to be coming out and shutting this down completely. You can see the herdable sheep trying to actually get taken out. No, don't do the little sheepy sheep. Look at him, he's gonna get it, he gets the shot. You hate to see it, you hate to see Beasty being ultra rude there, ultra mean to those poor sheep coming out from Vortex. But yeah, back in the base of Beasty, we do see professional scouts coming out, also more scouts coming out from Beasty, so he doesn't want to be losing these scouts, and he's got them over on his enemy side of the map. I don't know whether he's going to look to bring them back in, but could be stealing away a couple of the hunts of his enemy knight, just going to be chasing around that Khan. Khan's still able to do a bit of work here, but Goldmine going to be safely protected with the outpost coming up from BeastyQT, and a 6-minute age up time is indeed in order here for Vortex as he now gets through to the next stage. He's got a lot of villagers on gold though, so you would expect a fast castle is definitely going to be on the way, at least a semi-fast castle here, as we do actually see a hardened upgrade coming through from our Mongol player. So an interesting beginning here. It looks like another pasture going to get thrown down on the Uvu as well. Khan going to be making its way back towards the base. Now, obviously, it doesn't have that knight tracking it, so going to have to be careful, going to have to be aware, but may potentially look to open up on that Uvu as well. But we'll take a look back towards the position of BeastyQT. You can see he is moving out with that knight now. Obviously, scouts up towards the north also going to be bringing in those hunts, but knight still yet to make up its mind about exactly what it wants to do. We'll take a look at how the scouting is beginning to go. So interestingly, Beasty going up to 5 scouts that are collecting. Does he have a 6th scout? He's got the 6th scout moving down, but does he have the 7th scout? Doesn't look like it. Interesting position from him. Well, interesting number. Spear's now going to be moving out as well. Do we see an outpost potentially coming down from his enemy? Maybe he's just going to be looking to stop the professional scouts, because it's highly likely that he will see these now. Yeah, he does spot them now. So he's going to be looking to move out on towards these areas. I would expect that an archery range might come down as well from Beasty, just to try and help out with this, because obviously the knights aren't going to be able to do too much work against these spears. These guys have got the hardened to upgrade as well, and you can see the scouts going to be spotting that out. And do we see a reaction coming down from BeastyQT? Doesn't actually have a lot of resources here, so Beasty going to be heading around. You can see him moving away, being a little bit more proactive here. And look at this, the Khan going to be coming out towards this direction as well. Going to be looking for these scouts. He's saying, where are you going with your scouts, mate? I'm watching you. If you're thinking about taking some of my hunts, which he definitely is, then that is not going to be the case. I am not going to allow it. I'm not going to permit it. And Scout going to be careful now. Might be going down. BeastyQT not paying attention. Scout does lose its life. And a little bit of a victory going over there to his opponent. So well played by Vortex so far. So far. Gosh, there's a lot of so's in there. But yeah, already some great knowledge there from Vortex in taking control of this hunt. Look at the way he's kind of separating the hunt and pushing it away. And now it looks like Age Up's going to be coming through. Step It Out going to be dropped down here on this gold mine, or at least there we go. Now it gets dropped down on the front. In a little bit better of an open position there. Villagers obviously got their wheelbarrow, going to be moving ultra fast together with the YAM network. That stacks up very, very quickly. 1.49 movement speed compared to the 1.29 of his enemy. But archery range has now been built for Beasty, and Vortex is looking very strong, but it is going to be a fast castle. And this is very interesting because if I remember, I don't know exactly who it was, but someone said in this matchup, if both players reach the castle age and nothing has really happened, then the Mongols win. The Mongols win like 90% of the time. And I think at this level, where players are unlikely to make mistakes, that is a pretty decent assumption. Mongols have got a lot of ability to control the tempo of the game. They've also got a huge economy behind this. So they've got a safe food source that is very, very efficient. So they don't have to, of course, we could see right now the French player look and put farms underneath their town center. And, that would be a safe source of food. Agreed. But the pasture is an efficient and safe source of food, because that food is always going to be underneath that town center, always going to be very easily picked up. And you can see those sheep just moving in there, always being slaughtered and ready to be eaten up. And then throw into account the fact that we've got 15 villagers that are on gold right now, which actually are the equivalent of 22.5 villagers. So we take that villager lead right now. Vortex sitting on 33, Beasty on 37, and then we give him an extra 50% of his gold vills. So add another 7 to 8 villagers on top of that. We'll call it 7. So now Vortex is up 41 villagers to 37, and that is at a base level. You've also got the Uvu that's going to be providing in that constant trickle of resources. You've got the YAM network that's just providing that speed boost all the time. So there's so many decent things that the Mongols have got going for them. Looks like it's going to be a Lancer opening in the Castle Age. Lancer's moving out towards this position. You can see the Scout's going to be trying to clean up some more of these hunts, but at the same time, the composition here is very, very good for Vortex. Spotting out that archery range is definitely going to help him out a huge amount because there are no spearmen coming out whatsoever at this stage for his opponent. Looks like a second archery range is going to get thrown down. Crossbows or arbaletier are going to be moving into, or at least the tech that our French player is going to be looking to get into. And now, Knights on Lancer action in the middle of the map. Archer's going to be teeing off, but barely scratching their Lancer opponents. You can see that there's just barely any damage that gets done by these guys. And now, chasing them back towards that base, or heading back towards that base, we do potentially see a second town center come out for BeastyQT here. It could be a number of things, actually. So one of the things it could be is it just could be for sprinkled emplacements. We have begun to see trench warfare evolving in Age of Empires 4. And for anybody unfamiliar with that, essentially what happens is players build their own trenches with sprinkled outposts. And it's been happening more and more. And I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see Mongol villagers move forward and a Mongol villager actually look to put an outpost in this stealth forest and use that as a great anchor point. Let's have a look and see whether we've got any villagers that are moving out yet. Doesn't seem like it. Second town center actually going to be going down for Vortex. So buying up a heap of wood there and using it to then move into his second town center. But now Vortex going to be putting some pressure on. A great combination here. Knights plus spears and forces Beastie to actually fall back. Not going to be able to gather up enough stone there to create that second town center. And now we've got ourselves a little bit of a scuffle. Beastie going to be losing out a huge amount of military units. Great option here great decision making here from Vortex to actually come into the base and force the hand of Beastie. We see that villager count really starting to be evened up as well. We see 42 versus 40 villagers at the moment, and obviously there's a huge amount of other considerations to make, but at this point in time, the effective villager count is looking in the favor of Vortex, especially with that second town center up now. It's really going to help him out. So what did he do there? So he drops down a market. And then with that market, he is trading out the gold. You can see him drop off 225 gold right there. 225 gold straight to that step redoubt. And then he's going to use that step redoubt, the extra gold that it generates, to buy wood. It's just a much more efficient way of gathering that wood. So very smart move from him. But once again, we see that attack coming in on the front line. Vortex unable to really push through, but at the same time, Beastie in a terrible position. This stone on the front is really hurting him, and you can actually see him move towards the back here. So he can't really get up any sprinkled emplacements on the front. You can see him dropping down the outpost for a little bit of protection, but at the same time, not much going for him. Second relic now being picked up in the middle of the map for Vortex. So he's looking to take back that second one to his base. Keep in mind, Beastie has also gone for his own monastery. He's got one at the moment. You can see he's rallied out towards this position with his next monk, but he's got this one out on the wing, out on the eastern wing, looking to pick up this relic. And now we see the Khan going to be heading in with the Knights, going to be tipping them off. Needs to be moving these scouts back into base, or they're going to lose their lives. I think they're all going down here, so going to be losing all of the deer that go with them. And he manages to drop that deer on the ground, so does a great job of managing to make it away. And just a beautiful use of the scouting falcon as well. Vortex just throws it up. He knows, okay, I'm moving away from this position. I'll just throw a scouting falcon up just to watch what happens. And he sees exactly what happens. He picks up the deer and he goes back to base. So, yeah, great use, though, of that scouting falcon. Very, very interesting. But now the economy starts to build up. We see a little bit of a move into archery ranges, so it could be a potential veteran archer play is what we could see here. Unlikely that we'd see arbaletiers, crossbows coming out from... It also would be very unlikely that we saw arbaletier coming out from our Mongol player, but... Now Mongol player, Vortex going to be moving down towards his gold mine. He's got double gold mine back here, so very, very nice amount of gold for him, and it's quite safe. But a little bit of a raid coming through. Vortex going to be looking to pick it up as well. He's got the Khan nearby. He's going to be able to fire off that movement speed arrow. We'll take a look and see. It is ready to go, and he does pop it down, so going to be looking to get some connections here. 1.62 movement speed versus the 1.87. He's not going to be able to do too much damage here. Going to just be able to clean up a little bit, but just barely scratch his enemy, it seems, and chases away that raid. Not going to be able to do damage. He sends out that shaman out towards that relic that was in that position, but no longer going to be secure. Now another shaman, or now another monk going to be looking to move out towards that third relic. And Beastie looking to take the relic lead. He's got two at the moment, one in the bank, one on the carry, and the third one is about to come through, and we hear that trading once again going in at the market. He is looking to buy a lot of resources here, but adding in more production, it seems. Look at all of the outposts that are going down, and he's really looking to defend this. I'm surprised that we don't actually see him look to actually focus more on the center location here. So instead of putting outposts in these positions, put outpost here, put an outpost even here, just because both of these golds are going to be a very viable option when it comes to production in the mid game. Vortex now going to be looking to go up against a castle in the middle of the map. We can see that the guild hall is on stone. So I would suspect this is where the majority of our stone is going to be coming from. You can see that only a 500 stone has been taken, or 1,000 rather, has been taken from this. 200 from this. Which means that you have got 700 in total, but there's 1,200 in the bank. And of course, consider the fact that this keep cost 800. You're talking about 2,000 stone so far. So I would expect that guild hall is on stone. So making the correct choice. I am definitely of the opinion that for French, if you're going for a fast castle, going for the guild hall on stone is very smart. You want to cash out at 1,100 because you're going to be able to drop down a keep and drop down that second town center, and that's exactly what we don't see him doing. Do we see him doing it? We do see him doing it. He's still got a lot of stone in the bank here. Ideally, he doesn't even need to mine the stone. He could just keep getting it from the guild hall. Makes a lot of sense. You don't have to ever drop the mining camp on it. You don't ever have to move villagers to it. But he is continuing to scout out this position. Going to be helping out the monk, moving out towards that sacred site. All of the relics have been taken out in this position, so he's just going to be looking to hold up these points. But now Vortex is going to be looking to contest the center. 3 trebuchets coming out for him. A little bit of a raid also being repelled. Khan actually going down, being taken out by the keep. And you can see there's so many trebuchets now coming up. A 4th trebuchet. Vortex really feels like he's going to be able to invest a lot of resources in his siege here. This is his 4th trebuchet coming down. He's got 13 more villagers than his enemy. Keep in mind, another keep actually going to be coming down here. Beastie actually going for a forward keep over on the double gold here. A beautiful decision from him. When it comes to these keeps, it looks like the outposts, there's only sprinkled emplacements on them and coming through now. Keep getting, or neutralizing the sacred site. There is action all over this map. At the same time, force beginning to build up. This is going to be going down any second. You see those rocks being fired off, and indeed it does go boom, 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 goodbye. And now the spears are going to be looking to push out the rest of these units here. Keep is going to be able to go up, but you can see, I don't think it's actually able to reach the villagers on the gold vein. So even though he's managed to get this keep up and lose a lot of villagers in the process, at the same time, he's not actually able to deny the villagers of his enemy. So unfortunate position. You can see there is a villager that is dead here. So maybe he's researching that sprinkled emplacement. I'm not sure exactly how that villager died. Maybe he's just got to, he's got to manually fire the arrows at the villagers, and I think that's exactly what he's doing. So getting a great trade through here. So actually doing a pretty decent job. So well played there to Beastie. Maybe potentially look to move down to this position as well, grab some gold in, but you never want to be in this spot. And Beastie's doing a great job of isolating that gold mine, forcing it. And look at the villager numbers going down. He's down to 66 villagers at this point. He's continuing to wipe them out, just doing so much damage. And now a night raid coming through, getting repelled off by the lancers as well as the mangonels firing off. And this is an action-packed game we have got here, and it is to be expected. These two guys are considered to be the best in the world right now. Obviously, there's players like Marine Lord, there's players like Viper, but these guys, they are the top of the winners bracket. Neither of these guys have dropped a series yet. And the way that this tournament works is that this is the winners bracket final, which means it's a best of 5. In total, that means 5 games can be played, but it is the first to 3 points. Trebuchet is now moving in, looking to take out this keep. But essentially with that, what that means is that, let's say that, you know, BeastyQT wins this game, he wins this series. What happens then? Well, Vortex drops down to the losers bracket, and then the final game, because even though it says winners bracket final, that is true. It is the winners bracket final, but then the winners bracket finalist, whoever wins the winners bracket is going to be going up against the winner of the losers bracket as well. So you could potentially even see a repeat of Vortex versus BeastyQT, because one of these players will win, one of these players will lose. And obviously have to drop down to the losers bracket, and will go up against the winner between, I think it was Marine Lord and Viper. So whoever won that series, I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, because I do know who won, but I'm not going to say who won. But whoever won that series, it would be up against them. But now managing to take down this this position, and this is just one of I guess I want to point this out. When you're playing up against, oh my god, is he killing the deer with his siege? So when you're playing, oh my god, look at the army that is coming out right now from Vortex. So much military coming out from Vortex. When you're playing against the Mongols, when you're playing, it's mainly against the Mongols because they can make traction trebuchets with their infantry. It's so difficult to actually want to make keeps. Because even though keeps are beautiful and they do so much work, it's not a lot for the Mongol player to actually invest in trebuchets. Traction trebuchets for them, only 550 resources. They don't have to create any siege workshops. All they have to do is just get their units to do a little bit of a dance, and voila, you've got yourself a traction trebuchet. And, you know, do 3 dances, congratulations, it's a boy, you've got 3 babies, and they're all traction trebuchets. And they are looking for siege workshops, keeps, outposts, everything to try and take them down. But Beastie now going to be under significant pressure. A lot of units coming out for his enemy. Oh my god, I just saw the difference between military numbers for these guys. You've got 87 military population now for Vortex versus BeastyQT is on 25. Where is Beastie's army? What is he doing? Let's take a look at his production right now. He's got 11 production buildings. He's pumping out units non-stop, but at the same time, there's so many resources that have been invested into keeps, into castles, that he's not even been able to be making units. This is ludicrous stuff. He's managed to put up a whole bunch of stuff down towards the base of his enemy as well as in the middle of the map, but now that third keep going to be going down as well. And even if he puts up another keep, he's just going to be buying time. And God, that boulder almost took me out, mate. You got to watch yourself, buddy. Let's see if we can follow it along. There we go. Oh, jeez, isn't it beautiful? It really is that Lord of the Rings vibe, that, you know, Total War. It's a beautiful vibe that it comes through, but a second keep going to be going down in the base here for BeastyQT. But, I mean, at this point, it's just, this is just classic Mongol maneuvering right here. I mean, there are so many units coming out as a consequence of the Uvu, as a consequence of just the extra gold that comes in from that step out, and players have just worked out how to abuse it, how to wait, how to sit there and find that timing, and this is exactly what Vortex has done. So very well played, and now going to be looking to siege down that keep. That keep going to be taking a lot of damage while it's in production. Keep in mind, in the next patch, they're actually going to be taking 50% more damage when they are under construction, these buildings. So that health pool would be even lower. But you can see that keeps are just, at this point, almost pointless when you're playing up against the Mongols, because at the end of the day, you're just going to force them to make 4 trebuchets and they're just going to siege you down with them. They've got so much infantry, so much, and he's adding a 5th siege unit. This is just absolutely wild. Let's take a look right here at these players now, because, I mean, the final battle, I can smell it. It's going to be coming soon. The way that we've got BeastyQT that is just constantly being forced, the traction trebuchet as well as the trench is beginning to build. Here it is right here. This is the trench that we love to talk about. The outpost coming in, sprinkled emplacements coming in on them. You can try and fight me, but if you do, then I've got the trench. The sprinkled emplacements are just going to be what does it all. Trench warfare is coming to Age of Empires 4, and this is exactly what it looks like. These sprinkleds doing so well here. Beastie going to be in significant trouble. You can see him moving forward with what appears to be just a handful of Arbalatriae, but you just got to kind of wonder, like, where's the rest of his units here? And he just taps out. He says, good game. Don't even bother with the fight. You know what? There's not even a fight here. You just got so much stuff. I don't even know what I was doing. Well played going over to Vortex there, fellas. Next game up on the channel, it's going to be game number 2 between these two guys. This is a best of 5. Don't go anywhere.